Before we get started, I wanted to thank Matt underscore all things. He let me know that Lockdown's chest can be pressed out from the inside. I had no idea, so that makes him look a little bit less flat with the chest coming out. And I wanted to thank M Ranger Ringer for letting me know that the biceps slide back, so it gives his arms a little bit better definition and make them look more transformed. And Plastic Addict, he was sad that I started the video in car mode, but all my Studio Series reviews have me transforming the robots from car to robot or alt mode to robot and back again, so I don't know what he's complaining about. Watch the whole damn video.
T-Man 978 Chill Review.
Masterpiece Beast Wars Dinobot. I have a lot to cover. Here's the front of the box, top of the box, bottom of the box, left side of the box, right side of the box, rear of the box. If you need to see any of this closer, Google. He comes with the instruction manual right here that has some little cartoon artwork stuff. He comes with this collector's cart right here, which is just regular cardboard material, thin cardboard with this laser printed image right there. He comes with the golden disc that was featured on the cartoon. It's based on a real disc that was launched on a satellite from Earth back in the 80s. It had like some Earth history stuff on there. This is a disc stand right there, so you can put that off to the side and put the disc on there, whichever side you want, whatever you want showing. Have it sitting in the background. Yay, isn't that special? If you want Dinobot to hold it in his Dino Mode, you grab this, you put it into his little hand, and you plug the disc in there, and now he can like look at it and whatnot. The little holder actually has 2 plug-in points, so you can hold it sideways as well, up to your discretion and whatnot. Here's a comparison. Studio Series Leader Grimlock, Fans Toys Grinder. I hope I remember to edit it in, but this guy's packaging is the same size as this guy's packaging. Here's a Voyager class, a Deluxe class, and another Marvel Legend standing up. And finally, my only Beast Wars Masterpiece figure. Thank you, X0. Optimus Primal. Optimus Primal rarely hunched over, so maybe this is the scale I'm remembering, because I don't remember Dinobot being that much taller than him in his Raptor mode. So I can get this out of the way right away. The biggest complaint with this guy is they had to make compromises. But yeah, he does have a ton of, well, he has some robot kibble showing here or there, and he has the odd panels there, just like they had to do with this guy. So let's get that right out of the way right away. But only other thing, design aesthetic wise, that makes me a little bit upset. They're charging a lot of money for this guy. Depending on where you buy it from, Amazon Japan, he cost about as much as the re-release of MP-10, which comparatively, yeah, that's a good price. But if you go for the BBTS price, I don't want to see like mushroom pegs exposed right there. And this hollowness right here in that part of the arm does not have to be hollow. So that's unfortunate. Other things that I have a problem with, they didn't engineer this in such a way whereas these can rotate back and forth. You get a little bit of play out of that, but I wouldn't suggest it, because you'll break something if you keep messing with that. But otherwise, it has a good amount of detail, a good paint scheme, and it does have more articulation in certain places than I was expecting. Like the tail can, even though it splits in half, it can rotate left and right. It can go up and down like that, and it has 2 points right here in the rear. So there's a lot of articulation in this tail. I was not expecting that, to be honest. My favorite thing about him is gonna be the face in this dinosaur mode. That is so screen accurate. It is freaking scary. Like, if you watched the show as much as I did and had bought the DVD box sets and whatnot, like, that is just spot on what he used to look like. So they did a good job there. You can change these eyes by lifting this and rotating that this way, bringing it down. So now he has this more squinty eye look. I don't really like that too much. I think they should have went with another eye design, to be honest. I mean, he did do this, and you could act like he's getting knocked out or something, but I don't like that. One cool thing, you can open the jaw. The tongue is independent. Open it a little bit more, and he exposes his top teeth. So that's cool. So you can do this. He often talked through his teeth. So that is really, really cool right there. Now to just fully get into the articulation, besides all the mouth stuff. The head can look down that much, leaving a gap in the back of it right there. But if you lift it up like that, it's like that. He can look up that much. Of course, rotate there. And if you want to, you can lean this forward because there is a hinge there to have poses like that. It makes this split because you're not supposed to lean that forward. It's supposed to stay like this at all times because of the molding, but it can happen and it's not really stressing anything or breaking anything. If you want, you can move the tail up like this. Since it hinges up like that, you're exposing all this, but the tail can go up, and now he can be in one of his lunging poses that he often did. The arms are on a ball joint here, so they can do this. They can rotate like that. There's a hinge there, so they can go up and down like that. A swivel here, because I showed that mushroom peg. Elbow bends there, can bend backwards. It does this like that. Unfortunately, the cool thing is on a hinge, so it's not going to pop off. But the negative, you can't rotate the wrist. I mean, you have to rotate the whole forearm like that if you want to have him doing something like this and being aggravated with whatever's going on. Down here, you cannot move this more than that, unfortunate. But you do have this shoulder joint right here, the robot mode shoulder joint. It can come back like that. I think I have it bent as much as it can go without bumping into this part. But you can come forward. It can rotate. The joint is really, really tight. It can swivel here. It can bend here, but now the robot mode fist will come out and you'll have to fix that. I don't like that. I wish they could have come up with something different, but I guess they couldn't. It does have a hinge here, but that's kind of tight. I mean, it's still useful. And the foot can go down like this. It can't really come up too much, and it can swivel right there as an ankle pivot, basically. The toes are independent, or the claws are independent. They can go all the way back, and this toe can go down like that and all the way down. The thing that is the most frustrating and unfortunate for this figure is they didn't put any ratchets in this joint right here, and you see how easy that moves. Getting him to stand up is very difficult. Right now, he did it right here on the first try, but usually he'll just tilt forward and fall if you don't have him in the sweet spot. Sometimes if you point him back, he can lean back on his tail, which is cool, but that's why they packed in, more than likely why they packed in his stand that he comes with and made the price point go up on this thing. I think instead of putting up a stand is cool, but they should have just put ratchets in his ankles, and then we wouldn't even needed the stand so bad. But you definitely need it, and let's bring that out here. Oh yeah, before I bring it out, all these claws, even in the hands, are sharp as hell, and depending on how you handle it, you might poke yourself. These base panels may drive your OCD up the wall because they don't kind of line up. Like, depending on how you put it together, you'll get like this to line up with that, but then up here won't line up. But if you switch it this way, maybe that'll line up right there, but now this isn't per se lining up. So it's like you gotta just use your discretion on what you want. Like, now that lines up and that lines up, so yeah, but this line isn't matching up, so I'll just leave it like that, and you know what you're gonna be dealing with. Then we have this armature right here. It is made out of very good quality plastic. Like, this is why they're trying to charge you so much for this thing. I don't think this doesn't elongate or anything, but there's all this, and you have to get it to the level you want. Shove that into there, and go ahead and put this onto that. This moves up to there, down to there, and rotates to the side like that. Now this is a typical standport size, so if you have a figure with a typical standport, like all the Generations figures, you can put them in there like that. Final thing to show off in this mode, you'll find this thing inside of the packaging. You'll be wondering what the heck is it. It's made out of good quality plastic. It's feels very durable. It's not like your typical transparent plastic type thing. What you're supposed to do with this is grab him by the underbelly, open that up, take this part, see that little round thing, wrap that under here, shove it in there, and now plug this back into there. Lift this up, and now he is compatible with this stand by plugging it into here like that. Here you go with that, and this has been Dino Mode. It has a bunch of compromises that I don't like, and the ankles suck. So I like the face sculpt the most, and I like the arm posability and the tail posability, but it's just alright and has a lot of compromise. So you're not going to be able to 100% enjoy it, to be honest. Not in my opinion. Transformation, I think I'm going to do a series of jump cuts. Detach the peg out of the shoulders right there. Very important. Why was that head thing important? You won't be able to get the head down into the cavity without that. Now this part is a little bit tricky. It's a double hinge system going right there. It's like you need to have these hands bent up so that it can fit under there. So just get into that type of orientation, but now we need to like shove that forward and down. So maybe it's 3 hinges? I don't know. But basically attach it to the front. So it's almost like he's putting on a corset almost. Then we can push that forward. But get the hands under there as best you can. If you fool around with it, you can hide the hands or hide the dino arms a little bit better than that. But I don't feel like it right now. But get his little robo corset around. and you're good to go. Shove this up there like that. Then we can bring that down. You might need a tool or something to wedge that free. Get that out. Pull the hand out. Basically, rotate this. Get the arm straight and put that in there. But rotate, make sure that this is rotated at such a way that you don't break your $200 toy. And now he is in his robot mode. All the faces, here's this kind of like angry face. All of them have the ability to open the mouth. So this is sort of like his attack slash worried face, I guess. And these things are sharp too if you want to worry about sharp stuff. But the head is solid. He looks just like the cartoon to me. The neck is thick. That's a problem for people. And to get the face off, you pull it from the side. It gets easier, I guess, over time. But that's what he looks like without the face on. Here's a typical regular, still mean face. And like I said, all of them have an opening mouth like that right there. So there's that. Here's his more joking, happy face. And here's an angrier attack face that has transparent eyes. Now, Nate didn't put any batteries in this guy, so I might, if I feel nice, take the batteries out of my Megatron, and since they use the same batteries, and demonstrate his light effect with that. But let's get into the articulation. You can see all the detail as we go. But the head is on a ball joint. It's on this hinge right here, so I can do that. But it's also on a ball joint. So sometimes the cartoon did show effects like that, which made them look more like a toy, which was cool. It can look up a lot, to be honest. And as I showed you, it can look down a crazy amount, but that looks crazy. The shoulders are on a hinge there. This ratchet isn't that tight, but the ratchet this way is tight. This shoulder piece moves independently, and you also have this articulation right here. Now there is a hinge under there that would make this rotate and give him a butterfly joint, but because of the way this is attached to it, it hinders it. So I wouldn't suggest doing that unless you want to break it. The elbow bends in two places. It bends down here, which exposes still the dino claws, and you can bend it. No, it doesn't really bend more than that. But this, please note that this comes out of that cavity every single time you bend the elbow. It bends a little bit more than 90 degrees. I don't like that. I hate when I have. That's one of my major gripes with toys or Transformers. When you articulate something and then you have to adjust something else, that drives me up the wall. That was one of my biggest pet peeves with all the Transformers before MP-10. So this is kind of like something that came out before MP-10 in my opinion, and that frustrates. This goes up and down like that and swivels. The fingers all move independently, well, these three fingers, and this bends like that. So you can get him into his pointing poses and whatnot. These two fingers are connected at the base, and they're just fully connected. So their articulation all moves together. Waist joint. And I didn't know this at first, but you can pull at this, which gives him a taller body and basically different proportions altogether. So he's not so stubby looking. And you can also make him have an ab crunch, but he is very top heavy and he has a problem that I'm going to get into. But there is two hinges, so he can also look back with that hinge. Now let me push it back because I think he's supposed to be like this. The hips, they can kick forward all the way 90 degrees. Can kick back 90 degrees. Can only go out to the side that much unless you position the legs in such a way to avoid this bumping into that. He has swivel right here above the knee. This knee joint is very tight. It bends more than 90 degrees, but only if you have it oriented, because this peg ain't going nowhere. So you have to have that peg clearing this, and it could bend more than 90 degrees. But if you have it twisted and it hits, it won't be able to. That is so freaking tight. I don't know why they made that so freaking tight that when you try to bend it, it starts moving this stuff, which is scary. Ankle pivot. Well, ankles can swivel. They can pivot a lot. They can rock forward and rock back. One thing that's annoying while you're manipulating the feet is you'll constantly be trying to grab it and you'll push that down. That doesn't click into place. The heel spur moves, but he has a pin right here, but he does not have separate toe articulation. That pin is for actually this thing that I'm complaining about. But the major flaw with this figure is the fact that this ankle pivot is so weak, and he is made out of good quality plastic. Like, I haven't felt plastic like this since friggin' Beast Machines. Maybe even before. No, Beast Machines had some of their bigger robots had some good quality plastic like this, but this has better engineering than those figures, of course, which is cool. But here's what he looks like. This doesn't bug me so much. It looks better in person, just like this dude. I always compare everybody's backpack to this dude. It's actually way better than this backpack, but some people may have a problem that it's not as flat as the cartoon, and he has dinosaur stuff hanging out. His weapon, straighten out the tail and get your finger inside the grooves and go up, splitting that. Bring that all the way down. You can leave this on here, pop that up, because he did have the weapon like this sometimes, because that was a thing. But now you have to grab this right here. It is very difficult. You kind of like gotta rotate and pull down at the same time. It is scary, but once you get it down enough, start rotating it and it will work with you and come out all the way. He has a peg on this side and a peg there at the top that goes inside the two little peg holes on it. On this side he doesn't have that long peg, but it's the same thing over here. I'm gonna skip ahead. Once you get that pegged in, it's basically done. So if you want him to hold it like this, open the hand up. He has that hole. I kind of wish that this peg was a little bit longer so that it'll be more stable. Position the hands how you want. And now he has this shield, sword, pokey thing gimmick going on. Open mouth. Put him in whatever pose you need. But if you want, you can pop this out nice and smooth. Pull the handle down. And the handle pegs into the hand over here, or whatever hand you want to put it in, the same way. Grip that around, wrap the fingers around. So now he has his sword and shield combo. Amazingly, they went the extra mile and gave him the actual old toy gimmick by bringing this out and the show gimmick, because this used to spin around in the show. Make sure that the fingers are bent in such a way to clear anything. And now we can push that and spin this around. So there you go. It's kind of difficult. No. There you go. That's awesome. I'm doing this way better than I've seen anybody do on any review or video I've watched. So I'm happy about that. This panel on his back, it flips open for a reason. You're supposed to take this tail, pull this out so you can access these two tabs. Plug, or two ports I should say. Plug that in. And it doesn't, yeah, there we go. Plug it in. Ugh, it doesn't stay as well as I would like, to be honest. Come on. It's just fighting me. Just get it hanging on there. And now we can wear the tail on his back when he's not using it. It looks goofy, but it's an option. Using the same disc holder accessory, he is still compatible with holding the golden disc in this mode right here. To test it out, the fingers are still strong enough to hold it in the hand, wedged in between that area right there. I guess they didn't want to design a stand port in directly into his body, but using this little butt cradle thing, you can put this tab, that tab, and that tab into the openings right here, and now he is capable of being compatible with this right here. Lean that back, put it where you need it to be at, lean this, and now he can do aerial attacks and whatnot. Imagine him with his weapons in his hands. Last accessory is the Optic Blast accessory. It's transparent with a lot of ridges in there. It's only compatible with this transparent eye angry face and this colored eye angry face. You can just grab it at this angle right here and force it into his eye sockets right there. So now he has that effect going on. No, you can't keep my batteries, Nate, but press it once. He has red eyes that look very similar to how they looked in the cartoon. Hold it, and we get the green eye blast situation. Here's what you're working with right there. Let's turn this all the way off. And hold it. The blasts were green, but his eyes glue red. So it almost comes halfway through, depending on how much light you have in your room. Here's the red paint face. You don't see the little optic things in there as much. Hold it green, and that's what you're working with. That I was able to get this to stick in the regular painted eyes earlier, but now I can't do it, and it's frustrating me. Size comparison, and of course I have to show this. On one episode, especially the first season, he was this tall next to him, so that should be accurate. End of the day, it's an awesome piece as far as detail and plastic quality and whatnot. There are some scary points as far as the tolerances and whatnot, but you can work around that once you know what to expect. The main fatal flaws with this guy are the ankles in robot mode and beast mode. I don't think that you should have to put him into some type of sweet spot like I did right now in order to get him to stand up. That is frustrating. It should have been some ratchets down there. I don't believe I got into this, but the chrome on the sword, it worries me. It already kind of looks like it's fading already. Once I found out that the waist extends and it has an ab crunch, I started liking him more, and plus I mistransformed this area right here the first time I did it. So once I got all that together, it started feeling more cohesive, like a real action figure should feel, and that made me happy about it. But I don't know if I can really say that this thing is worth the price that it costs, especially on online retailers right now. They are the US based online retailers. They are charging like $230 for this dude, or maybe more. I can't really sit here and say that I would feel completely happy if I paid that amount of money for this. Like, it comes with a lot of stuff and all that, but I don't know. Maybe they should have did 2 price points, one with all the stuff and one with just him, some good freaking ankles, his weapons of course that he has to come with, and maybe the golden disc. That's all I would have wanted was the basic things that he has to come with. This is part of his body anyway, so he has to come with that. I would have liked the faces, or at least 2 extra ones, and the golden disc and the eye blast. That's all I would need. The stand is completely optional to me. So I don't know. If you're lucky and you ordered it on Amazon Japan and you got it for like $180 or lower, then yeah, I would say he's worth that amount. Truthfully, see, I fight with myself as far as these prices and whatnot, because I have paid a crazy amount for certain pieces and whatnot. But when I really think about it, like, the prices have jumped so high, and that price is our own fault because we've been paying a lot for third-party prices. But now third party can give us a good quality action figure, and the prices are better than Takara Tomy. So them trying to go up or trying to get some extra money off of us for these things is just unfortunate. So if you really like Dinobot and you really are a fan of Beast Wars Masterpiece figures, I would say he's absolutely necessary and he is a good toy, but that price, I honestly can't justify it. But anyway, thank you once again, Nathan Simmons, for allowing me to review this guy, and I didn't have to pay for it. And now I'm debating on whether I want to pay for it, but thank you altogether anyway. Thank you all for watching up until this point. Until next time, T-Man978 out of here.
That shit. Go ahead and click that shit. If you did, you would like it. Really, really click that shit. Now I'm freaking gone.